Head of the Bauhaus from 1920 to 1929.
Painters, sculptors, choreographers, actors, artists of the Bauhaus combined all these roles. Everyone, without exception, was involved. The Bauhaus united artists from every creative field in a common endeavor. We should treat the world as if it had just been created, as if we had no preconceptions and no prejudices. We should not ponder on things so hard we smother them to death. We should let them develop in their own way, freely, taking great care with them. We should be simple, but not impoverished, spiritual, but never sentimental.
We thought we ought to bring words back into our theatre, the real ability to preach the cause of good and beauty and what is right. We had in mind a didactic theatre, a theatre of propaganda. But Schlemer wanted to base on purely formal elements. How to live, to work, to move, to relax, how to create a fit environment for our changing society. Those were the questions which preoccupied us. Technical and social revolution has been developing for 100 years now. It has produced massive changes in our way of life. It has transformed our method of production. It has gradually fostered new habits in us, new sets of values and new preferences. And all these things have in their turn led more and more towards standardization of the environment we live in. The Cathedral of the Middle Ages was a truly comprehensive work of art. All the trades and craftsmen, all the professions, every citizen contributed to its making. Our cathedral was to be the cathedral of technology, of modern production methods, of the fair distribution of wealth. Unfortunately, our cathedral of socialism met with an instant barrage of protest. In spite of all our efforts, we spent more energy fending off hostile reaction than we put into our work. We were quite aware at the time that we had to fight to save each moment of existence from the lion's jaws, but we never doubted our ability to beat the opposition. We fought furiously against hindrances to our work, but we were never discouraged. We felt we were at the real beginning of things, that we had only made the first inroads to a new world, and it was a world full of challenge and promise.
Gropius's architectural reputation was established long before the days of the Bauhaus. The Vegas factory in Germany, for example, was built in 1911 when he was 26. Make the movements of work totally practical, he said. Reduce the movement of man in a given space to the minimum. These were wholly original ideas at the time. That Hannes Meyer should succeed Gropius in the overall direction of the Bauhaus was by way of being a logical development of his philosophy.
Hannes Meyer, director of the Bauhaus from 1928 to 1930.
Under Hannes Meyer, the climate of the school began to change. A more open interest in social and political order took precedence over purely artistic values. Building is a biological process, wrote Meyer. It is not an aesthetic process. New housing becomes a machine for living, but it is a biological machine corresponding to man's material and spiritual needs. Our modern era produces new materials for new architecture. We organize these materials for an architectural function guided by economic principles. The poster asks a blunt question: would you like to have your own house? The idea of sunlight in a house was thought about for the first time. Light was felt to be all important. For the first time, architecture concerned itself with the area a housewife has to cover in her home and how to make her work easier. For the first time, architecture was regarded as a social responsibility. It was answerable to fundamental human needs: the right to have a roof over one's head, the right to be housed, and, if possible, in congenial housing. Housing by Walter Gropius. Housing by Van der Rohe.